Hi, this is Sydney Reiners, Customer Success Coach here at From Now On. During today's training, we're going to be looking at FanX rewards and a couple pages regarding getting set up with that rewards program. So just a high-level overview of our agenda, we're going to be reviewing our rewards configuration pages, rewards inventory, users, and then we're going to cover a couple pages where you can set up those rewards points and also evaluate the check-in history. All right, so those first three pages that we're going to cover are going to all be housed underneath our rewards header. So first, rewards configuration. This is where you're going to set up the bulk of information regarding your rewards program. So introduction to rewards, this is going to cover some of that language that users are going to see when they're signing up for your rewards program. So that opt-in message and title. And then that prize redemption message, this is what's going to show up when users are going through that redemption process. They select the prize, they tap redeem, and then they are given this message right here. We do have a default message already put in here for you, but if you want to update this and include a little bit more information around your redemption process, if there's somewhere they need to go, or if there's specific events where you're holding on-site rewards redemptions, you can include that in this message. Next, rules and regulations. So we can require a mandatory suffix for users when they sign up for that program. So if we're doing a student-only rewards program and we want users to sign up with their email provided to them by the university, you can require that email suffix right here. You can also require more than one email suffix so if you've got more than one, maybe students at our Panda University, they have a gopandas.edu email suffix, but then our faculty and staff, who we also want to be able to engage in our rewards programs, they just have an @pandas.edu email address. You can have more than one email suffix by just adding those right here. Next, an additional level for that student-only rewards program, if that's what you're utilizing, is to enable a student affirmation. So what this will do is that it will require when a user signs up for their rewards program that they have to tap a nice little button that says, hey, yes, I am a student. And then they'll also have this note down here that you can customize. That's just adding some additional information to that user saying, hey, by the way, you are going to be required to be able to demonstrate or prove that you are a student and you are applicable for this rewards program. Next, for special events, so you can make special events check-inable. You can set those points on an event-by-event basis. This is just the option that if all of your special events you're going to have worth one value, you can set that up right here, and then you don't have to worry about it when you create those special events. Export check-ins. So generating this spreadsheet will give me a full report of all of the rewards check-ins for my rewards program. So it'll compile all of that data for check-ins to games, check-ins to special events, you name it, and it'll share all that information right for you in that Excel sheet. Membership groups. So this is also something that would be asked of users when they're signing up for that rewards program to fill out their profile information. They can further segment themselves as, student athletes, fraternity member, sorority member, different student organizations. If it's a non-student rewards program, it's fan-wide. You can have alumni, you name it, as another kind of group and subgroup for users to affiliate themselves with. The nice thing about these is that when I export that check-in list, I'll get all of that user information. So if I'm doing a competition with my student athletes to see which team engages the most and goes to their peers' events, then I'll be able to export that check-in list, be able to filter down by those groups and subgroups, and then reward that team at the end of the year. Scrolling down, an important piece to make sure that you update on your rewards configuration page is going to be those rules and regulations. So as you can see here, we do have a defaulted message here, just demonstrating to users how to check into events. The most important piece here for you to make sure that you update is going to be that how to redeem prizes. So you want to make sure that this is updated to reflect what your rewards redemption process is. As I mentioned earlier, if that's going to a specific place on-site, student union, or within the athletic department to get those prizes, Or if you are going to have, all of our home basketball games or all of our home events, we're going to have a rewards table where you can come and redeem those prizes at the games. Just make sure that you include that information for fans right here in this how to redeem prizes to avoid any accidental redemptions or questions from those fans. Our final box here on our rewards redemption page is going to be the email registration message. So as a user, when I'm going through signing up for the rewards program, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my email address. If I've got that student affirmation button, I'm going to go ahead and tap that, and then I'll receive an email. So at this point, I'll go into my email inbox, and this is where you can customize that email registration message. So then at that point, I would, affirm my registration, and then I'd have access to my rewards program. Be sure anytime you make any changes to your rewards configuration page, whether it's messaging, groups, subgroups, always make sure to scroll down to the bottom and save that rewards configuration. So our next option in our rewards drop-down menu is going to be rewards inventory. This is where you'll be able to manage all of your prize inventory that shows up within your rewards program. And be sure to check out our training that goes into how to create a prize for rewards and best practices there. Our last option in our drop-down menu for rewards is rewards users. So this is where you're able to see all of the users who are signed up for your rewards program. Pending users, this means that they have submitted their email address to sign up for your rewards program, but they have not gone into their email inbox and approved that invitation. So that's what that pending users means. And then suspended, this would be users who have signed out or have deleted that app and aren't a part of the program any longer. So then filtering, you can come in here and filter down to those different groups and subgroups that you created and get additional information. So we can come into our student athletes. Here we're able to see what subgroup they're a part of within my group and get that number of users. So next up, we're going to go into where you can set points on your rewards program. The first one, we're going to go into teams. You can then select your sport. And then I can set the rewards defaults for this team. So since I have 15 here, this is saying that for all of the football team's events that are at home, those are going to be worth 15 points. The redeemable time offset, so this is saying when do I want that check-in window to open. So if I put in 15 right here, this is saying that I'm going to open that check-in window 15 minutes prior to any of the football team's games. And if I put in a negative 15, this is saying that that rewards check-in time is going to open 15 minutes after that game start is set for the game. Redeemable end time offset, this is only applicable if you want to allow that check-in window to stay open after the game has ended. And again, make sure to save that team if you make any edits to those rewards defaults. So say I've got a basketball game, the basketball team, their default value for all of their events is 15 points. But for one game in particular, I want it to be a double points night. We've got, we're playing a big rivalry team and we want to really encourage students to come to that game. I can come into that individual game and override that team point value with whatever I want that value to be. So you can see here in this example, we've overridden the basketball's team value with 25. And then another option you have here is that if you just wanted to allow users to check in from anywhere, this is something that you would maybe see on a special event to say, say listening to a podcast or a coach's show to allow those users to check in from anywhere. This is just saying that as a user, the app is going to ignore the geofence, so they're not going to care where I am. And once that time of the game has started or that offset has started, then I'll be able to check into that event no matter where I'm at. But as I said, you can override what that value is on a game-by-game basis. This will not change it for all of the basketball team's games. It will only change it for the game in question that I'm editing. As we showed on the rewards configuration page, you can set a default value for all special events. But similarly to our game example that we had, if we want to have those special event values be different event by event, I can come in here and set that rewards point value right here. Lastly, before we wrap things up, you can always view your check-in history on that event. So we've got a couple different options to review that check-in history. You can export or generate your check-in spreadsheet from that rewards configuration page. That will pull all the check-in information for all games, all events. But if I just want to look at a game or special event in particular, all I need to do is go to that game or event in question, scroll down to the bottom, and I'll be able to see the check-in information for that game. We can also see that if we come over to our game example here, scroll down to the bottom, and I'll be able to view that check-in history on that game in particular. So if I just want to say I'm doing a raffle of all the users who have checked into this basketball game, I can export this check-in list. It'll export to an Excel spreadsheet. I can randomize it, do whatever I need to do to randomly select that user who wins that drawing, and then be able to share that over the PA at the game. All right, well, thank you all for joining to learn how to set up your rewards program from that configurations, inventory, users, and then those points and check-in review. Thank you again, and be sure to check out more of our videos.